Welcome to Spirit Life audio series of teachings. Spirit Life is a ministry focused on media, mission and motivation, empowering the contemporary generation in fulfilling their God-ordained purpose. It is a creative hub facilitating partnerships in kingdom-centered media and initiatives. Spirit Life is not just a church planting mandate, but a platform for social action and community engagement.
I want to share with us social media and a mission strategy with us that I applied to the project we have been working on for the last 1 year plus called Voices of the Silence. And even though it looked like it was not going to work, it is working and we're seeing results. When you sow a seed, it grows. When you water the seed and it begins to multiply. So the same thing, my wife and I were at a meeting yesterday where we were sharing and talking about love justice, and I shared a social media strategy with them. And as I was sharing and as I got back and as I was preparing for service, the Lord showed me that it will work on any mandate. It will work on your project. Like we're going to use it in Spirit Life, but you can use it on your project. It will work on Survive. Same thing. It will work on your dance, or it will work on your health. What if you understand the principles and you apply it? So I want you to be attentive because it's a major thing that the enemy is using to influence people. I want to show you a photo this morning. What does that look like? It's a rifle, isn't it? I've begun to share with individuals, telling them about drop the gun and pick up a camera. And 2 days ago, I sat with a composer. And I'm talking to leaders, I'm talking to individuals, I'm talking to groups. And the whole idea is we're challenging people. Our young people are being killed, and we need to begin to raise positive role models that will make a difference. So what we're saying now is, instead of picking up a gun, pick up a camera, pick up a boxing glove, pick up a microphone. Do you understand? Express it in your own particular way. And that's what we want to do. Challenge our generation. When I speak to a politician now, I know what to tell them about this project. And we are going to be doing that this week and next week. On Tuesday, I'm going off to a conference with some leaders, key leaders in the country. And any opportunity I get, I'm going to be ready. If they give me 1 minute, I'm ready. If they give me 5 minutes, I'm ready. If they give me 1 hour, I am ready. And I'm ready because I know that's what we're meant to do. There are positive role models who have been working that they have not experienced the support they need. We're going to get behind them and support them. I've been thinking about our anniversary, and this is one of the ways I think we can have our anniversary. Engage with this issue. Our mission strategy. Let's turn to the book of Matthew. We're going to have to leave our comfort zone to be able to fulfill this mandate. To be able to go into the world. Please let's turn to Matthew 28, verse 19. Go ye therefore and make. In other words, it's not just to tell people, you must influence them. You must make them. Go into the world, make disciples of all nations. Baptize them. Baptize means change their identity, soak them into the identity of Christ. When you are baptized, you take on the identity of what you've been baptized in. Soak them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them. That's why we're teaching church. Sometimes you can get frustrated if you keep teaching the Bible, you keep teaching. That's what the Lord said we should do. Teach them to observe some of the things I've commanded you. Oh, the Lord has commanded us. Some of us think, the world can do whatever they want. No, the Lord says teach them to observe. Once people are saved, they need to be discipled and they need to be taught all the things because the world is teaching them lies. And we must now teach them all the things that He has commanded us. We are all meant to be teachers and trainers. He says, lo, I am with you always to the end of the age. That's our mandate, to teach, to train, and to equip. Matthew 28, 19 to 20. We need to go. We need to step out of our comfort zone. How are we going to do that? Our mission strategy is broken down into 3 main areas. Many times we put motivation as if it's a thought aspect, but really our motivation, our motive for action, the reason why we're doing it is what will make us get involved in missions. That's why we do media. So if we do great and excellent media and our motivation is wrong, we've missed it. Do you understand the point I'm making? We're a media church because it's a tool. Our motivation is that we'll go out. If we're to describe our assignment in one word, it's not media, it's not motivation, it's missions. The media is a tool. The motivation is the reason for doing it. That's how we reach. It's very faint in the background, but you can see crowds at the back. Multitudes. The Bible says, multitudes in the valley of decision. We are called to reach them. So, how are we going to do it? I want to talk about a media strategy which we need to begin to work on. This is the same thing we did with Voice of the Silence. It looked like a joke when we started about a year or 2 years ago. It's now beginning to bear fruit. You can apply this to what you are doing. This is what we're going to do as a church. This is what we're going to do as Icon Towers. This is what we're going to do as individuals. But our corporate vision, we need to begin to do documentary features. It is essential we do that. For example, there are people who have been working with gangs. They were gang members themselves. And they have the solution to reaching these kids on the streets, but they are not being funded because there's been no advocacy to challenge the government. People like me and people like us, we're going to now create feature documentaries to show what they are doing. And we'll put it in front of the government and say, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. I know some of them already. They are the ones that are now beginning to speak. They're now going, but guess what? They've not been supported enough, so they don't have the capacity. We need to create an enabling environment for them. All of us might not have the if I go and meet a gang guy now, my accent alone, he'll be like, bruv, and I'm not your bruv. But guess what? Everybody responds to love. Even when they don't tell you, even when they behave hostile, we need to tell their story. And we need to put it not just on Christian TV. If you look at the next item there, Christian TV has its place, and we'll get there. But we need to put it on mainstream TV, on Vice, on Channel 4, on BBC. I've been on BBC, I've been on LBC before. Now we're going to be going back on those platforms with solid documentation. I'm not going to carry the Bible and start preaching, except, of course, they invite me and say, come and speak as a Christian, then I'll speak. But most times they will not invite you because you're a Christian. They will invite you because you have produced something that is addressing issues. So we need to do featured documentaries that will put into festivals. The point I'm making is you can do some things with films. Have you heard of Blood Diamonds? It's a campaign video. Because some things were happening in South Africa and in the African continent that people could not talk about. So they created a film to highlight issues. But then apart from feature, we also need to do web series. Short things we put online that people can sit down and watch. 3 minutes, 5 minutes. They won't take time. We'll do it. So when you're on the train, those are the kind of things you can also send and put on WhatsApp or Instagram. Do you understand? It's important we understand that sometimes this generation has cultured itself that not everybody's going to sit down and watch a long production. Some people, within 1-2 minutes, they've gotten the message, and they can act out on that. So we need to be in that space, which leads me to the next thing. We're not just talking about TV or web series, which is essential. We need short videos that target certain audiences. For example, if I want to target some gangs, I need to package it in a particular way that will reach that group. And we need to be very strategic. Not that you just carry your dress like some Jehovah's Witness guy, and then wear a hat and then get your printed materials. Already they know that you are trying to reach them. So they just block you out. Have you ever seen those guys coming to meet you just because of the way they are packaged? Just say, sorry, I don't have time. You don't have to even sell the whole deal. Now, that might reach some people, but I'm telling you, the generation you need to reach, you need to be a bit more skillful in reaching them. So you target them with your content. We need to understand that it's important. Also, we need to create newsletters for a different audience. Emails explaining some of these things. Giving people just information about what is happening because people don't know. And if you don't deliberately do it, people will miss out. Do you know if all of us here engage with this, we'll be impacting this city, but not just this city. On average now, our viewership of our videos every week has gone up to about 250. that are organic people that just click, and we've not even started. Pastor, is this a message? Yes. This is tools in contemporary evangelism. But also, this is how your job becomes your work, and your work buys into your call. Because you can be watching a short video during your break time, and the way it's packaged, somebody will ask you, what's that? Oh, you want to see it? Let me send it to you, and you forward it to them. It does not look like it is powerful. How many times have you watched a short 3-4 minute video and it blew your mind and brought tears to your heart or stirred you up to do something? They're powerful. So we need to do newsletters. But then we also need to do very interesting, flashy videos that is just, it's called a sizzle reel. The whole idea is just to blow your mind, to just attract you. It's just to like create the burning bush so you can now hear the message after the burning bush. Sometimes you cannot speak to people because you've not even attracted them. In communication, sometimes it's called breaking the ice. If you want to speak to an audience and they're not listening, you catch their attention first before you now drop your main messaging. You don't just drop your important message. For example, I was sharing somewhere and half of the people were sleeping. I needed to wake them up first before I shared. If not, I could continue with my truth. So I had to do something that will make them laugh or to wake up or to catch their attention. Then I continue. If not, I'm not a skillful speaker. Yeah? Okay. And then finally, we need to do what? Interviews with experts, testimonials, former gang members like this issue. If you want to talk about Nigeria, some of the Boko Haram girls that have been kidnapped, I'd like to interview 1 or 2 of them. There's a friend of mine, he's a lawyer. He's taking a few of them to the States. Because he was able to meet with them, interview them, some of those girls now, they've gotten schools for them, they've resettled them in the States, and they've completely changed their lives. Because the first-hand information he got was so authentic that people, just meeting experts. There are people who want to bring here, and there are people who want to put on a platform and interview them and get them to empower others because they're experts in the field. I was in one meeting with one of them, and the guy said his congregation dropped from about 500 to 20. And then after a while, it was just him and his family and a few people. And they said, won't you leave? And he said, if I leave, then who will reach them? And he was there. And they kept threatening him. They've tried to kill him a few times. Guess what? The church has started growing back. The numbers have increased and they've started coming back. That's a powerful testimony. When you hear some testimonies, you feel ashamed of yourself. There's a music video I'm editing this week and next week of this Australian girl, Kent Hodge. We interviewed Kent. You remember Kent Hodge, Dr. Kent Hodge? His son married this girl who is a praise and worship leader in Australia, and they now live in Nigeria. What blessed me most about her work is that she just plays with the children and teaches the children, and they feed the children in the morning, and it's so inspiring. It is so inspiring. When you see that, you realize whether it's snowing, whether it's hot, whether I have money or not, I want to touch a life. Do you know that some of those children, when they finish, they're going to help other children? Do you know that there are people here in the UK who are supporting children right from when they were young, and right now they're in university? I listened to one of those girls. I think she was from Uganda. Right now she's doing either her PhD or her master's. When they started supporting her, she barely had food. Now she's doing her master's, and her dream in life is to support other orphans, and she's earning pounds. She started from nowhere. Somebody believed in her enough to put a roof over her head, pay for some education for her, empower her. She got into university, got her first degree, and now she's changing lives. We need to capture narratives like that. So do we understand the chart now? And I can make this available to us. But these are some of the things that we need to do. So when we start as a church, I'm just letting you know, I remember 3 years ago when we said media, it was a bit abstract. Now everybody in Spirit Life at least understands when we say media. We are now merging that media with mission. So let's move on. Now, there are different audiences. I'm not going to break this down too much. But different audiences respond to different media. For example, a lot of young people here don't even do Facebook. I don't do Snapchat. Snap what? Even the Facebook and I don't like Instagram at all. And I'm into photography and video. I don't like it. But guess what? Some people live on Instagram. And every day they spend 1, 2, 3, 4 hours on Instagram. We need to get folk like that and just kind of let them change the image they are sharing, the images. Let's just bring purpose into that. I don't know how we can use Snapchat, but there are all sorts of things we can use out there. Find your audience and begin to speak to them. There are all sorts of social media out there. Instagram, Vimeo, LinkedIn. I found out right now that LinkedIn is a major tool for professionals. So now, some opportunities I've gotten and some jobs I've applied for in the last few days have come in from LinkedIn. And some people have been checking out, and after they checked out my profile, they've now gone to check out the website that I've not touched in 3 or 4 years, and I'm now getting feedback. Very powerful. And you can start with a free one. So you need to understand is if you are looking for work, create a profile in LinkedIn. Develop your, do you understand? So we're talking spiritual things, but have a strategy for your life and become good at it. The first paying job I got was actually not editing, was PowerPoint. And I got to present in a fashion show, PowerPoint, that opened doors for me. Can you imagine? So I've learned that don't restrict yourself. Use everything you have. Twitter. I've tried to create 2 Twitter accounts. I don't do it. I'm having to learn. But some of you, there are people who rule their countries and influence the globe with their tweets. You know who I'm talking about. The public policy of Trump is basically pushed out on Twitter. If you want, hate him for it, but it's been effective for him. Because before they fashioned his mind too much, he just tweets something, everybody knows his mind. Of course, that's big. They are trying to regulate that now. But the point I'm making is these are powerful tools. Most media houses and most politicians now use Twitter to release information. Their Twitter feed has become a major tool. Let's not sit and... All I'm saying is the e-church has become a legitimate church. The e-field. Recently, I stumbled on Google+, and I realized that it's a major tool for blogging. Some filmmakers use it. I mean, there's so much. Which of it can you can't do all of them. So choose yours. That's all I'm saying. Let your voice be heard and be clear what you are trying to say. It's time, Spirit Life, to invest in the e-church. It's time to pray about it. God, what should I post? How frequently should I post? What will make a difference? Many times, all of this world, you have relegated it to just your entertainment and to your distraction. For many of us, what is happening here is not constructive for you. Change that. It can become constructive. We need to create alternative messaging systems. I keep saying this. And we should not despise it. Like now, numerical strength of this church is nowhere near the impact we are making on social media. Now, that is going to be taken to exponential levels in the next couple of weeks and months because we're going to be intentional about it. It's already started. But find your preferred platform. That's basically what I'm saying. Find your preferred platform and lend your voice on it. The way I use social media is not the way Pastor Raja is going to use social media because he has his unique voice. I see the way Brother Taiwo uses social media. He's an activist. Very aggressive with his messages. But you see him in person, just quiet. But man, heavy stuff. Controversial. And he's a black activist. It's obvious. He's clear his message, what he posts, and he will now add Jesus on top. May the Lord, and then post it with a prayer. Now may the Lord make your way. And I read those things. I check them. And my time is selective. But when I'm looking for certain kinds of messages, I know where to go to. Okay, what's happening here? Do you understand? Find your unique messaging system and deploy it skillfully with anointing and empowerment from God. Do you understand? Don't be a clone of everybody. If you are unique, then let's hear your voice. That is actually not a rifle. That's something I put up that was sent in. That's actually a tripod at the beginning. Then you have a flash. Then you have a lens. Then you have 2 cameras. And then you have a lens. So people are now understanding that you can become creative. So I'm planning a photo shoot where we're going to get, like I've spoken to a model. The guy is like about 6'4", all ripped with muscles. And we're going to get him, to stand with a gun and with a camera. We're going to get young children to dress like, maybe put on some face masks, look like military, and then hold a toy gun and then hold a camera. And basically, what we want to now start doing is just tell people, drop the gun, pick up a camera. Interpret it in your own way. Drop the gun, pick up a camera. Now, I've seen one. Different people have started sending different ones out. I've not seen for a Panasonic, so I'm going to make one for a Panasonic. I'm just going to walk into a boxing club, and I say, I want to do a photo shoot, and I need some boxers, and take some photos with them, where drop the gun, pick up your boxing glove, yeah? Or talk to dancers, pick up a pen, pick up a paintbrush, whatever it is you want to do. The way dancers will interpret this will be different. The way painters will interpret this will be different. We're going to do a tour where we're going to go to top exhibiting houses. And you'll be shocked the kind of creativity we can unleash in people as people begin to see this. And we're going to get sponsors, and then people can win prizes. Do you understand the point I'm making? Guess what? We're dealing with an issue that is a social ill, but we're doing it in a creative way. I'll have showed you the video of an artist who now created a song. He heard, and he was in a studio, so he played Drop the Gun, Pick Up a Camera. He created a song. K also created he sang like a Hausa guy using a local Goje guitar and created a song. Different people now begin to express it. Now, somebody might see that as a businessman, and he's going to drop the gun and pick up his checkbook. And we're going to send that money to people already working with those gang members. And then we're going to set up, many of those people have dropped out of schools. So we need to set up schools and institutions for them, where we train them, send them to boot camp. After 2 weeks, all those addictions can begin to be addressed, and bring in specialists. So the work is serious. We need serious funding. We're not joking. For me, that is church. Do you understand? We have a studio here so we can bring in musicians. Do school assemblies. Very important. We'll start going into schools. I know 1 or 2 people already doing that. We're going to invite them. Some people are comfortable with Facebook. So if you need the link, we'll send you the link so that we update the photos beyond that. Can you see Clement putting a gun on someone's head? That's how he's dropping the gun. And I caught it. It's good. Yeah. But someone was asking me about the Facebook. That's it there. You've gotten the link. So we're going to share some of these links so that we start posting and gathering the content. Do you know what I found out? Some people might not want to come to your church, but they will engage with your campaigns because they like that. They like, you should have seen Matthew the day we were shooting, our landlord. That's the guy who's our landlord. The guy with the blue shirt. He brought his Jeep. He said, I'm ready. He was like, come and see him acting. He jumped with the gun. He was ready. If you say some assault, anything, he would do it. He was just so proactive. Gave us land. I mean, you'll be surprised the favor that we can bring in as we get creative. So please don't be boring. Be dynamic. Right now, I'm trusting God that we'll start advertising. We'll start small on social media, but I like to put adverts in tubes and on billboards. I said I would like to put adverts on tubes and on billboards and buses. Can we do it? So that let everybody start. I guarantee you start doing that. Some of the churches that don't want to respond, they will respond. So instead of me to get on a bus with a microphone and say, come to my church with my suit, and I say, God is good, I'd rather go drop the gun and sponsor that. So that's the link. So look for the hashtag or look for drop the gun, pick up a camera on Facebook and post there and tell other people to post and share. And get creative too. Challenge me. Challenge other people. You might be surprised that someone will be activated. When I saw the rifle, to be honest, I actually thought it was a rifle. I was totally fooled. Then I looked closely. I'm a cameraman. I'm like, no. See what they did. That's brilliant. So this morning, I didn't tag anybody. I just posted it to Facebook. I didn't say anything. Do you know some pictures can speak? You don't even need to preach. Someone can get up. The exhibition we're planning, I spoke to the composer. We're going to gather, I've sent him some of the photos already, and he's composing the music already, and he's brilliant. I was in the studio. He's very, very good, very talented. He's worked with some of the top guys in the States. He's very good at what he does, and he's agreed to come on this project. So what we're planning to do is maybe behind him on the screens or somewhere, we'll be putting up the images, and then he's just going to play. So it's going to be an exhibition. Can you imagine if dancers coming? You don't say anything. They just dance and express something based on the issue. Do you understand? Have you ever danced to interviews of people who have lost their children? Have you ever created sound or decide, okay, this particular section is not 2D. I can't remember what country I was in. I've forgotten because I've been to so many. But we were on a project in one country somewhere. I can't even remember. I think it was Finland. And there was this theater where it was not just 3D, it was 4D. So you sit on this and it takes you just think you're watching something. All of a sudden your seat lifts up and then it starts raining. And water is splashing on you, and then it gives you an aerial view, and then you dive into the water and you go underground. And it's a whole, and then there's a bit of a whiff of something, so you can sense that. So they're trying to can you imagine if we create certain things? Years ago, I call it smelly vision instead of television, where you touch the senses with visual. Multisensory. Oh, thank you very much. Multisensory. I'm an embarrassment, aren't I? It's multisensory. Pushman. So let's be creative. Let me move on. You can like on Facebook. You can get other people to like. I have 4,000 people. I've not started getting them. The few times I try to get people to like, I get so many demands. So I've slowed down a bit. But now that I want to do a campaign, get people to like. Everybody, please, if you have a Facebook account, can you just go and like us on that page? Like, because as you like, you connect, and other people connect. But then beyond liking, people can share. Some of the posts that go viral is because different people share it. So if I like something and I share it and I get my friends to share it, it's exponential. But then you can also promote a post. Like now, that's what Brother Emmanuel has been doing. He's been promoting our services. Just goes and he'll post it. When you now promote by spending money, you to shoot from maybe 1,000 to 10,000 to 20,000, someone might be touched. And of course, you can now raise support. People will sponsor if the messaging touches their heart. Do we understand? So we're going to be doing that now. So very quickly, if you've not done that, bring out your phone. It's practical. It's evangelism, isn't it? Join the group, like the page, follow the group, or follow the page. There are people who have basically saved lives because they posted something. Someone on the verge of discouragement. There's a cumulative effect that as soon as you share, you connect with one person, the other person connects with another person, it now begins to multiply, and then that exponential impact. This is how things go viral. It's connections. So please, share and encourage people to share. So that when we now go very active in the campaign and launch it, be active. Don't just watch. It takes a lot of effort to produce this. Raise awareness. That's what I'm doing. Formulate engagement. This is what you need to do for your business. This is what you need to do for your assignment in life. Create engagement around it. build that community, then mobilize that community. What am I trying to do now? I'm trying to mobilize the community. I know that we have a community. This is a community. So we're going to pray. We're going to influence churches. We're going to influence parachurch networks. Of course, we've talked a lot about social media and TV and IPTV. Already, we're setting up a radio station and an IPTV station. And of course, we're going to do cinema, films. This is the mandate of Spirit Life.
Welcome to Spirit Life audio series of teachings. Spirit Life is a ministry focused on media, mission and motivation, empowering the contemporary generation in fulfilling their God-ordained purpose. It is a creative hub facilitating partnerships in kingdom-centered media and initiatives. Spirit Life is not just a church planting mandate, but a platform for social action and community engagement.